Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Let me launch my thing. Let me see if I can share my screen. Good morning, everybody. Somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you hear me okay. We got a nice big pop going on in NASDAQ right now, and probably a nice big pop going on in Dow as well. So it's all across the board, except for the DAX. Might have new pops. Good morning, Connie. Hey, how are you? I got a lot of really interesting stuff to tell you. This is the final version of the MT5 combo indicator. It's working in the flow right now. We're obviously market open, huge ramp in trend right now. Waiting to see. We'll see if so. This is 1, 2, 3. Looks like we're probably going to break the upside here, and we'll see if. It's interesting. I wonder if they're going to really ramp this to 14,000 on the futures. This is probably going to trigger a buy signal, but as always, it's a buy signal on the open. So it's a buy signal on the open. So therefore, it's very problematic. So we'll watch. We'll see if we get a buy signal here. If we do, still may be worthwhile to take it because we have a strong bias. But it's always, I never. That's the reason why I never like to trade the first 5 minutes of the open, because it's always going to be, very crazy. So let's see what's going on. Oh, this thing froze. My NDX froze. Wow, that's interesting. I wonder why this froze. Okay, I'm gonna have to restart my. Oh no, did it come back? Looks like it's coming back. Yeah. I'm having connection issues with my CFD. The futures are trading fine, but this is having a connection issue. I don't know why. Huh. Okay, it's coming back. All right, good. Okay, so far no signal on this, and we'll let it be. Nasdaq is trading down a little bit. DAX actually turned negative. It's interesting. But NAS is making another rally to the highs. If this breaks the highs, that's going to give us a buy signal. So let's watch this for a sec. All right, running out a little bit of gas. The pre-market data was very positive. We had very strong retail sales, but a lot of that, as you can see, a lot of that story has gotten priced into the trade. So it's a question of whether we get follow through on the open. It's always very problematic. Give it another minute. We don't trigger a trade. Then I want to go into the strategy and kind of show you and discuss with you some of the ideas that I have. Hang on just a sec, guys. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay. So a little bit of consolidation, totally natural, really extended move here. You can see how far away from moving averages all the prices are. So totally natural for us to get a little bit of profit taking. Doesn't look like we're gonna trigger a upside trade just yet. Let's just let me just see. Give it a how much time do we have left here? Okay, so 7 minutes into the trade. How's the Dow doing? Oh, Dow is a signal, so we should get long Dow. Okay, long Dow here at 85. Let's see if we can just Dow's coming off the big signal, but let's just let's stay with this thing. Let's see if we get at least 95 out of the Dow. So we're in at 85. Really want to look to see if we can get 95 out of the Dow. $94.95. Okay, take half here if you got it. So plus 10. I think that's good enough. I mean, it can go a little bit farther, but it's really extended. So that was, it was good for a pop on the open for like 10. Nasdaq is starting to stretch out for the highs, but still not quite making it. Okay, let's see if we can. A lot of buying pressure on the Nas. It's really amazing. Buyers coming back with a vengeance today, but still not able to clear the highs. Okay, I'm going to give it one more candle, and if I can't clear here, and we don't have a trade, we're not in trade on this next candle. We'll go back to how I want to make you understand the whole strategy and how it trades, because it's really quite good. Getting close here. What's the high on this thing? It's 65. Oh, that's interesting. So first 10 minutes into the market open, sellers have not been able to break it. So it looks like we're taking out the highs here. How much time do we have on the candle? Okay, we're in the trade. I'm actually, I didn't take that trade. Oh, what's going on? Why didn't the algo trade? Okay, I was in the trade here, 77. We should take this trade right here. It's good for 10. So we'll take this trade right now for 10. That was weird. Sorry, let me just check. I just want to check something over here as to why my own algo did not trigger. Fresh signal false. Yeah, it's interesting. Hang on a second. Let me see what this was set up for. Sorry, I just want to see something here for just 1 sec on my own side. Strong breakup. Require previous failure false. That's correct. On this trade. Oh. Okay. Interesting. All right, I will examine my stuff. Anyways, good trade. So this workout, we came in here. The close was 83. It went all the way out to 92, 93. So almost 10 points on that one. I don't know if any of you guys caught it, but it definitely worked. You got one. Okay. The Dow worked, both the Nasdaq worked, both of the breakout stories worked. So here's what I want to kind of go through with you on the basic strategy and how I like to trade it. Hang on just one second. I'm just curious. I'm just trading my own account here, just a little bit, because I'm still trying to trade the extension here. Okay. Definitely running up. So obvious. It's just a big strong extension. So here's the strategy as it unfolds, and I think the interesting part here is this perspective from the long term. So let's go first and foremost. I'm going to go to the 1 hour chart. What does the 1 hour chart show us? 1 hour chart shows us uptrend, right? Short over long. Everybody sees that? Step one, right? Everybody with me on this? That's step one, right? So that means what I call we are strong long bias. What does strong long bias means? On the one, that means if the 1 hour is to the upside with strong long bias. Strong long bias means that we take every upside trade we can, meaning that any strong trend, strong signal breakout is legitimate trade. Okay, legitimate trade. So that's strong upside bias, and it's been this way for about a couple of hours. So I took this long trade. You take this long trade. You take this long trade. Okay, every trade works for about 10 points on 10 points with a 20-point stop on this particular structure. Okay, now let's imagine, just for argument's sake, we're going to go back to the 1 hour chart. And the 1 hour chart shows us downtrend, right? So the bigger trend is to the downside, right? The bigger trend is to the downside. Well, then what we want when the bigger trend is to the downside is only what I call a weak trend bias. A weak long trend bias means the following. In order for your trade to be taken, in order for you to take a long trade, we need a failure on the short side. So this is the fail candle. It means this candle tells us that there was a prior fail to the downside, and only this candle is a legitimate buy. So if I am short long term, if the trend is negative long term, only fail signals are buy signals. So this is a buy signal that works. This is a buy signal that works. This looks like it doesn't work, but it actually works because this is a very small retrace, and it works perfectly fine for both. So we only take the long signals if there's a failure to the strong to the dominant side, Okay, the dominant side in this case is the short side. It's the exact reverse situation if the trend is to the downside. If the trend is to the downside, then we take every strong sell signal, and we only take if we only take the buy signals that are like this. So if the dominant side is short, we take every sell signal, and only failed buy signals. If the dominant side is long, we take every long signal and only failed sell signal. So this is this sell signal that there's a failure, and we take that to the downside. By the way, sorry. So occasionally you're going to get both a sell signal and a failed sell signal. So sorry guys, I'm just I'm tripping over my own words. In this particular case, by the way, I noticed for a fact the NASDAQ was in a negative trend. If you look at August 15, 4 o'clock in the morning, if you go on the 1 hour chart, let me just show this to you. It's right here, right? We're in a negative trend, right? So I go back to the 1 minute chart at this particular time frame. And I know that I am dominant short, okay? Now, if I'm dominant short in that particular time frame, then I will take every short signal, a short signal like this, and a short signal that's a failure signal, right? If the dominant side if the short side is dominating, then every short signal is a trade. If the long side is dominating, only the failure signal is a trade, because the long fails, the strong side fails, and therefore the short side has a chance. This, by the way, also worked. This looks like it didn't work. It went like 29 was the close. It went up to like 41. Just, you know, it went like 15 points against you, but then collapsed. I was actually trading this last night. So the point being is, if you're strong biased, you take every single trade in that particular sequence. If you are weak biased, you only take the failure signals. Does that make sense to everybody? Sorry for my stumbles, but that's basically what I'm just trying to say. That strategy is incorporated into the EA, but I'm testing the EA right now, and I think there was some kind of a logic issue in it, because I'm trying to create this whole strong short bias, and I want to make sure that the EA is fully executing the logic as I want it to before I give it to you guys. So it may take maybe I'll have it by tomorrow, but certainly by after the weekend I should have the EA for you guys. Yeah, it's definitely part of the EA, but it's just not quite ready for me to give it to you. All right, hang on a second, guys. I just want to do this. Okay. So using this kind of analytical structure, right? It really, oops, hang on a second, hang on. Okay, great. Okay, I'm done with this. Sorry, I'm kind of like fucking around myself, trading around in non-strategy trades. I'm basically, it's very, very bullish NASDAQ. So I bought the dip over here, trying to get out of this thing. But I didn't want to do this in the chat room, because I really want to clarify the trade structure and get you guys to absorb the trade structure, because it's so valuable as an idea. Once you get very comfortable with that, we can do lots of variants on it. But focusing on this, right? Let's just focus on this. So if we're strong biased, every strong trade is a buy. If we are and every sell trade is only a failed trade. Is only a failed trade. So what this does is it maximizes your long trades in a long-term dominant uptrend, and minimizes your short entries only to the ones that have the highest probability. Okay, that's basically the idea of what we're trying to do. Okay, so here's Dow. Dow's got here's the strong trade. Dow is this particular case. I think the Dow actually, remember, first of all, Dow is very, very tough to trade on the open, but secondly, the Dow is just such a massive retrace trade that it's not going to be as continuous as NASDAQ is. Nevertheless, if we were just to simply trade the Dow over the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, right? 3 or 4 hours on the chart. Let's first of all establish what is the trend in the Dow, right? The trend in the Dow is unambiguously long, right? You guys with me? So it's just clear that the long-term trend is since like yesterday has been long, right? So now we go to the 1-minute chart and we fool around with this. And we go on the 1-minute chart, and that means we only want to sell failures, but buy everything, right? So in this particular case, actually, so let me just move this over. Let's say we just trade for 10 points, 20 points on a Dow, because I don't, it's Asia hours. It's not a lot of. We start somewhere around here, around 12 noon, GMT, 11 noon GMT. Actually, even if we start here, let's say 11 GMT, we want to go 10-20. So I'm long over here at 79. The high is 86. What's the low here? 61. I survived this. So I basically literally survive the 20, and I make the target. Notice, by the way, here's the sell in a strong upward trend. I don't take this sell because it's not a sell fail. It doesn't have a little red button on it. It's not a sell fail, right? So long here plus 10. Long here plus 10. That's a clear 10. Here's a sell fail. So therefore, yes, I want to trade this to the downside. That's another plus 10, right? Here's a buy fail, but it doesn't matter because I want to take every buy. This is a question of, actually, it's interesting. I don't know how much of a retrace I get here. It's 919. I think it probably stops me out. No, 908. So that's another one. So it's like I'm already 1 winner, 2 winner, 3 winner, 4 winner. And here's another fail. 5 winner. Okay. 5 winner from here. And then I think this one is going to be, let's say, called a loser. So 5 winners, 1 loser over the last 6-7 hours. That's really quite good if you just follow the structure. So very, very cool structure to be able to to kind of run the run the ideas by you in a cool way. The most important thing is, and some of this stuff, by the way, this is the settings here are. I already see the settings here are a little bit untrue. Well, no, actually, it's not. Wait a minute, the 1,000 micropips? No, it's actually okay. So that actually works, yeah. I think it's fine. All of this is very indicative of the idea of only selling when there's kind of there's an upside failure, and buying continuously with the broad trend, right? If you combine those two ideas, you have the best of both worlds. You can take the sells when they really, really work, and you stay on the strong side of the market by just basically doing all buys all the time. This, I think, is actually one of the confusing things, and my apologies, and this is just simply a CFD nature, is let me see if I can properly arrange this. Show. No, I want to. Oh, I think it's this one. So I need to go in here. I'm trying to. Is it details? Specification. So what is the? I'm trying to figure out digits. 1. All right, bear with me. I literally have to experiment with every one of these CFDs as to what 10 points means on a micro-pip basis. I think it might mean 100, right? Maybe this is why. The problem is that in order to set up the fail signals, why doesn't this? Maybe it's right. No, that's correct. So it's 59, 65. Yeah, no, that's correct. Okay, that is correct. Yeah. Okay, so it is doing the fail signals properly. The confusion here comes in the following way. The combo alerts has this little properties thing that says how much of a profit, like how profit target basically says how far does it have to go in the money in order for it to be not considered a fail. So if it clears 100 micro ticks, which is I believe 10 points in this particular contract, and the problem is every single contract is a different thing. When it's currencies, it's super easy. 100 micro ticks is 10 pips. So it's got to go 10 pips from basically the rule of thumb is the way this thing is calculating it is it's saying, okay, the prior signal, right? Did it go from the entry of the signal to the low? Did it go 10 pips lower? No, it obviously didn't. So it tells you, oh, it failed. This failed. Similarly, from the high over here, didn't go 10 pips higher, so it failed. So this is both a fail. This is both a fail. That's why it's marking it. And the fail mark is what gives us that extra edge to be able to say, oh, the price failed to go to its strong side, or it failed to, if we're trading from the sold side. So therefore, I can trade the weak side, right? So in this particular case, the German on a 1 hour chart today really, I think, cleared what time? At around 11 GMT. At 11 GMT, it was positive. Until then, it was negative. So effectively, before 11 GMT, so this was basically positive to the strong side, right? Or the strong side was to the positive side. So only when the positive side failed, right here, this fails, I have a negative signal. Do I want to take this signal? And this is a good sell signal. This is a good sell signal. This actually is not a good sell signal. This fails positive. We're still positive biased, but this one gives you stops you out. So you have one win, one loss, one win because you are always positive because you're in a positive bias. And I think you're still positive over here because remember I said only from 11 o'clock onward you're positive. So I guess this was positive too, or maybe not. Didn't quite extend. Maybe it was from over here it extended. So, and as I said, the worse the instrument, the worse it's going to work on. In other words, for a 1 minute chart to really work, you need an instrument like NASDAQ, at very worst like Dow. Anything else is just not good enough. You have to go on a much bigger chart to get denser, to get denser data, because the instruments that don't move a lot we're basically always betting on extension in a direction. And if this thing just doesn't have any kind of extension, it doesn't have any value. So so if I go on a 5 minute chart against the 1 hour chart here, you can see that remember I said I was positive bias from like I think around 10 or 11. So fine. So if I was positive bias from 10 and 11, but until that point I was negative bias, meaning that the long-term trend was negative, then on the 5 minute chart, this is a positive fail. That means I'm allowed to take this trade. This means the strong side failed, right? The strong side failed. I only want to take this particular trade. So if I get long over here at the 09s, with a 20 stop and a target, I'm able to survive the moves, and it eventually goes my way. So the rule of thumb is we're trading the 1 minute chart, but the 1 minute chart is really only applicable, in my opinion, to NASDAQ and the Dow. If you're trading crypto, I would say obviously Bitcoin is possible, but you have enormously wide spreads. So there you'd have to trade like with 1,000-point spread, but it has the volatility. What you need is a highly volatile instrument to be able to trade this kind of a continuity. But if you don't have a highly volatile instrument, you can take the same idea and simply take it on a next bigger time frame. When the density of data is more, you have less frequent signals, but those signals, the whole point is the more volatile the instrument, the shorter the time frame you can go on, the less volatile, the more density of data you need in order to get true signals out of it. Okay, hopefully that's understandable to you guys. But regardless of how you look at it, the whole point of integrating weak side, strong side, dominant trend, non-subservient trends. Should we really should we just go into a full S&M on this? We have dominance and subservient trends. Whatever. Actually, it'll probably help you memorize all of this. The analysis of it is really, really good. Like the analytical function here takes the trade into that really beautiful 70 to 80% category, which is where we want to be operating in the 70, 80% category, because it eliminates, and only selects the absolute highest probability trades. Right. The critical thing, obviously, is we need to trade this on a proper density level in order to make sure that we're not missing. We're not taking trades in a situation that's just not. Sorry, I'm just looking at my stuff here. In a situation that's just not that's just not volatile enough. We need an extensive thing. So same idea on currencies, right? Just currencies. So obviously, 1 minute chart on the euro is useless, right? Oh, look at this. What's going on here? Okay, hang on. Let me just change this to default. Okay. And here I think I have to. Sorry. Let me properties. Because this is currencies. So here I'm very, very confident in my micro ticks. All I need to do is say 100 on any currency. You want to say 100. That will give you the proper fail mechanisms on the chart. So 1 minute chart is obviously really, really hard to trade. But we could try it. Like we could try the 1 minute chart. Although it doesn't. Every time it crosses trend, it's like a 3 or 4 pip move. So I really don't think it's even worth our time looking at it. I would say we need to look at the 5 minute chart on the euro just to give us even a modicum of trade ideas, to go for. But let's say here's the 5 minute chart. The first question we want to ask ourselves is, what's the dominant trend? And I think you really can go. Conceivably you should be using the 4-hour chart, but I think it's okay to use the 1-hour chart. I want sensitivity. I want the long-term trend, if it's changing, to let me know quickly. I don't want to have a big lag. So 5 minute against 1 minute is okay. So 5 minute, clearly this is we're in an uptrend, right? Everybody sees it's an uptrend, which means we're dominant long. So if I go to my 5 minute chart, what that means is I want to take every long signal, but only short fail signals. Okay, I only want to take short fail signals as my structure. And I'm actually curious why is this a fail signal? Is this really a fail signal? This is such a long. So 79, and the high here is 89.3, and this is literally like a 79. This is literally it's not really a fail signal. I mean, and this is actually, it's really interesting. You see what's happening here is from here to here was 9.9 pips. So this sent me kind of a false sell signal. Presumably I should have taken the sell signal because there was a failure, but it really wasn't a failure. It was almost 10 points. And that's the thing. You're not going to get, anytime you quantify something, you're always going to have these, 1/10 of a pip miss, 1/10 of a pip misalignment. Computer doesn't know the difference between 9.9 pips and 10 pips, but you should, and you need to understand that. And if you're visually trading this, and you see, oh, this give me a sell signal, but it actually was 9.9 pips in the money, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't take it. I mean, another way to kind of modify this is we could just say 90 pips, or if it's 95, 9.5 pips into the money to give ourselves accounting for the thing, we can do that. You know, the problem is, you know, well, that's interesting. Why is that still giving me a fail? Sorry, let me just check this. I'm trying to understand why this is giving me a fail, because this should not give me a fail. Let's see if I could just, I don't know, 30 micropips. Okay, so why this is saying 95? If I'm long here, 79.99, and the high here is 89.93. Oh, okay. So let me see if I adjust it to 9 pips. This is always, you know, the bane of any quantified. Let's see if I just adjust this to 90 pips. Does this work? This could give me a proper signal. Nah, for some reason it's still failing. That's interesting. Why is it? This is weird. I need to, again, this is the reason why I want to test all this stuff with the programmer, because I need to understand why it's giving me false signals. Okay, so somewhere between 8 and 9. I guess it's adjusting for spread. It's really weird. Okay, I'll have to figure out what the mechanics of this thing is. But anyways, I always want to take the buys. So this buy works. This buy works. This buy does not work. So this buy fails, right? So 1-1, 2-1. This is a sell. It's kind of a legitimate sell. That sort of works. You know, it's 70 to 56, so that works. And then so that's 3-1. And now we have a buy. You know, and we are net, you know, net positive, long-term positive euro. So we have a buy. So you could trade it this way. So you see that currencies which are less volatile, more kind of shaky instruments, and also have the spread based inside of them, going to be a little bit more problematic on a short-term basis, but very, very good. The longer we go, like if you get into that whole, like let's say you wanted to trade currencies on a 1 hour basis against a 1 day basis, right? That would give you a much better idea of signals, because you would have more data, less less spread issues, all those kind of things. And we can look at that tomorrow as an example. Right now, I'm just looking to see what's going on in the Dow and the space. We don't have really any signals here. And NASDAQ is correcting a little bit. Oh, really? Oh, what's going on here? Oh, that's the Dow. Yeah, there's NASDAQ. That's right. Both Dow and NASDAQ are correcting. Okay. Anyways, hopefully you guys get the idea. Let me know if you sort of agree, disagree, understand. Let's open up the questions for a little bit here, so you guys can sort of process all of this. Any questions, guys? You get it. All right, cool. It's pretty cool, especially when you use the MT5 indicator. It's very clean, very well done on the charts. I've put up both the MT5 and the MT4 into the thing, so you guys can play with it. I generally, it's very, very, very seductive to say, oh, I want the algo to take all my trades. I love the algo, so on and so forth. But honestly, everything is just a tad bit more art than science, right? I mean, the algo is all science, but the setups are just always a tad bit art. The key thing is to keep the setup artful without making it too arty, meaning that you want to stay true to the setup, and stop reinventing your own ideas of how it's supposed to work. But at the same time, having that human element of saying, like just like you see on the charts, oh, this thing went like 9 in the money. It's really not a failure. Your MT5 with 1.7 only works on the currency chart, but not with NASDAQ. So when you're doing NASDAQ or Dow or DAX, right? Like this. So you're in NASDAQ. So here's what you should do, Karen or Connie. Just go Control I, right? Delete. Just delete this whole thing. Say close. Get a clean chart. Get a clean chart. Okay, totally clean chart. Then lay down combo alerts indicator and just lay it down. And you should be able to see it. Is that what's going on with you? Yeah, Peter, none of them are good because they're all betas. So I don't have any recommendations until I, as you can see, I'm still having logic issues that I need to confirm. My point is, I don't want to be experimenting on you like guinea pigs without the logic issues. When I give you stuff, I really want it to work the way it's supposed to work. So like right now, I had a algo did not take a trade that I thought should have taken a trade. I need to understand that. I need to understand why the indicator is showing a failure when there isn't one on the chart. There's always tiny little logic errors inside the code, and I want to stamp them all out. Yeah, and then with a demo, then if you're doing trading demo, be my guest. Just trade with that. That's fine. If you're trading demo, then use whatever you have there. It's fine. I'm just and actually it's a good idea even after I give it to you that you guys trade the demo for 2 or 3 days just to see that it's logically executing the way it's supposed to. I'm going to speak to the programmer right after this to see what the hell is going on, because I don't understand why. Maybe it's my own configuration, but you know how programmers don't speak English, they speak logic, and they're very literal. So I need to understand what the hell they programmed into the thing. But irrespective of that, visually, you guys can really see the critical components. This is a very visually oriented strategy based upon the idea that you always want to trade to the strong side, and you only want to trade to the weak side when there's a failure of the strong side. When there's a from failure comes success, which is what Karen and I have been talking about for a long time, and it's those failed trades that are only useful to us. Now, when you get failure to the strong side, that means market is long-term positive, right? Like here we go. Market is long-term positive, and we get a upside fail signal. Where's my fail signal? Oh, I know why, Connie, because I let me see if I can get this correct. I don't know. I honestly don't know what the frick the micro is it 10 or 1,000? Let me see if this works. Again, this just drives me nuts. Yeah, okay, that actually works. So there's 10. So you see this is a green dot here. That's an upside fail. Upside fail meaning that we're strong to the upside and there's actually a fail to the short side. It's a super strong signal. I love that signal. When you get a fail to the strong side, you have even double the confidence of the normal one. Here's a fail to the strong side up here. That works really well. So all of those are really good signals to take. Obviously, you're going to get a multiple of fail signals. This is weird. I don't know why the hell. Now see, this is driving me crazy. Why is this sending me a fail signal here? Let me see. This shouldn't be, because this is correct. Properties, profit target. Okay, close. Yeah, I need to figure out what it is on the CFDs. It's so much cleaner and obvious to me um, on futures, because you guys can see, like on the futures structure, this is a true fail. This is, in other words, this is downside fail. This is an upside, a strong side fail, meaning this is a great long, and this is an excellent long. I don't know why it's showing me these pictures on the CFDs. It's probably because I don't understand what the micro ticks are on each one of these things. So I have to just modify it. All right, guys. Let me go. This is a new version. It seems like it's not working. Okay, let me see what you got here, Connie. Let's see what we got here. Get rid of this thing. Always, I don't want everybody to get rid of this thing. This thing is a it's like virus. Get rid of this counter. The counter is really bad. Secondly, you have literally 8 combo alerts. You got to delete every one of these and only use the latest one, because you obviously, it's obviously not keeping up. So do that first. Delete every one of these. Download the absolute latest one. Put that in there. Get rid of the counter. This candle counter is really a virus. It destroys MT5, and then see if it works. Okay, that should really help solve a lot of problems. Let me know. Let me know tomorrow. Okay. All right, my friends. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna go talk to the program. I see what we can do as far as all the stuff goes. And tomorrow, hopefully, I'll have all the final thoughts. This is us kind of developing this whole thing in trades. We still managed to pick up 10 in the Dow, 10 in the in the Nas on the open, so that's not bad. We should be able. Remember, it's a strong side bias on the Nas, and if we get upside breakouts, they should be good ones for the rest of the day, unless the trend starts to change. Only sell the failures for the rest of the day. In other words, if we get a sell signal, it's a failure. Yeah, otherwise don't bother trying to sell it. Okay. All right, guys. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you later.